Hey guys, welcome back to One Stop Biology. So today we are going to start off with a new chapter, which is chapter 10, Microbes in Human Welfare. We are covering class 12th NCERT today, and we will try and finish off this chapter today itself. So we'll just make one video on this chapter. So basically, guys, when we studied all about the immune system, when we studied all about the human diseases, what we saw is that microbes are responsible for so many different type of diseases, right? In this chapter we are going to study about something which is exactly opposite to that chapter, right? So we are going to see how microbes are, important and they are good to humans in some cases as well, right? So, we use, I don't know whether you guys are aware or not that we use several microbes in our daily life, right? We basically use either microbes directly or the products derived from them every day. And one common example is the production of curd from milk. So say, microorganisms such as lactobacillus, which are all, usually known as lactic acid bacteria, lab. They grow in milk and they convert the milk into curd, right? So what happens is basically during growth, the lab produces acids that coagulate and partially digest the milk protein, right? And then a small amount of curd is added to fresh milk in either inoculum or starter that contains millions of these bacteria, millions of lab, right? And at suitable temperature, they start multiplying, and as they multiply, they keep converting milk to curd. Now, what happens when the milk converts to curd? Basically, it improves its nutritional quality by increasing vitamin B12, right? So, basically, what we are doing is we are getting benefit from this lactobacillus, right? So, basically, this lactic acid bacteria plays beneficial role in checking disease causing microbes in our gut, right? So you would be aware that we have millions of bacteria in our gut already, but these are helping us into things, right? Now there is, there are other examples as well. Like while making food, we sometimes make dough, right? So these dough, in case of say dosa, idli, or so many different food, we use bacteria for fermentation, right? So this is nothing but basically microbes which are used in household products. Now let's go to microbes in industrial products, right? So even in industries now see, microbes are used to synthesize many different type of products. Like say in case of beverages, right? We use fermenters in case of beverages. So we have fermented beverages, right? Like microbes like yeast. They have been used for production of wine, beer, whiskey, brandy, or rum, right? So there is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Now this is used for bread making, right? And I hope you'll find bread in every home nowadays. It is the most common, breakfast item, right? So this is again used. This again uses a microbe, right? So this is commonly known as brewer's yeast, right? Saccharomyces cerevisiae is known as brewer's yeast, right? It helps in brewing. It helps in fermenting, right? So basically, this is also used for fermenting malted cereals, fruit juices to produce alcohol, to produce ethanol, right? Now, this wine and beer are produced without distillation, whereas whiskey, brandy, and rum they are produced by distillation of fermented broth, right? So this is one. The next one is preparation of antibiotics. So antibiotics basically are chemical substances which are produced by microbes, and they can kill or retard the growth of other bacteria, other disease causing bacteria. For example, penicillin. Now, penicillin was first discovered by Alexander Fleming, and it works against disease causing bacteria. So basically, antibiotics improve our capacity to treat deadly diseases like plague, whooping cough, diphtheria, leprosy. So there are so many deadly diseases which can be cured by antibiotics. Again, these are made from microbes. So basically, we are using microbes against microbes, disease-causing microbes, right? Then we have chemicals, enzymes, and other bioactive molecules. So basically, microbes, guys, are also used for commercial and industrial production of chemicals like organic acids, alcohols, and enzymes, right? Now, example of these microbes may be, aspergillus, which is a fungus, right? Or Acetobacter aceti, which is a bacterium. So, aspergillus basically for citric acid, acid for acetic acid, Acetobacter. We have Clostridium for butyric acid, like so, Clostridium butyleum. Then we have Lactobacillus for lactic acid, right? In the same way, we have yeast like Saccharomyces for commercial production of ethanol. We have different type of microbes which are used for production of enzymes like lipases. So lipases are used in detergent for formulations, right? So basically we use detergent for removing these oily stains from the laundry, right? So these lipases which are used in detergents are produced by microbes. We have streptokinase which is produced by streptococcus, and this basically is modified by genetic engineering and is used as a clot buster. So if we have to remove clots from patients with, blockage, right? So blood vessels are blocked. Now we use streptokinase enzyme, which is produced by streptococcus, and we modify it by genetic engineering, and we use it as a clot buster. In the same way, we have cyclosporin. So cyclosporin A, which is an immunosuppressive agent. So in patients of organ transplant, right? In order to transplant a particular organ, what we do is we suppress their immune system. So we use cyclosporin A as an immunosuppressive agent, and this is produced by Trichoderma polysporum. This produced by Trichoderma polysporum. In the same way, we have statins. Statins are produced by yeast Monascus. It is used by produced by yeast Monascus purpurus. Now this is again used as blood cholesterol lowering agent. So you can see so many different type of important enzymes are derived from these microbes. Now microbes also treat the sewage. So the sewage treatment, we use microbes for sewage treatment, right? So the wastewater that we get from the sewage, right? So basically the municipal wastewater, guys, is the major component of wastewater which has human excreta, right? So basically it contains large amount of organic matter and microbes. Now some of it can be pathogenic as well, some of it can be disease causing as well, right? So what we now do is that before disposal of this wastewater, we treat it in sewage treatment plant, right? Now, what happens in sewage treatment plant is basically we take lot of heterotrophic microbes which are naturally present in the sewage, and we treat this water with them. Now, how is the treatment done? So it involves two stages. First one is the primary treatment, right? So basically what happens is first we remove all the large and small particles. How we remove it? By filtration and sedimentation. So first is primary treatment, and what we are doing is we are removing large and small particles first, right? And how we remove it? By filtration and sedimentation, right? Then the grit, which is soil and small pebbles, those are removed. Again, it is removed by sedimentation. Right. Now, what happens is that all the solid present in the wastewater that settles and it forms the primary sludge, right? And then we have the supernatant forms the effluent, right? So we have the solids which form the primary sludge, and then we have the supernatant, which forms the effluent. Now, this effluent from primary settling tank is taken for secondary treatment. Right? Now, what we do in secondary treatment, basically, the secondary treatment is also known as biological treatment. Right? So, basically, secondary treatment or biological treatment. Right. So now what we do is the primary effluent is passed into large aeration tanks where it is constantly agitated mechanically and air is pumped into it. Now what happens because of that is that it allows vigorous growth of useful aerobic microbes. Right? So these aerobic microbes, they basically grow into masses of bacteria associated with fungal filaments. Okay, and these are known as flocks. These are known as flocks. So now what they do is they make mesh-like structure. These bacteria, along with the fungal filaments, they form mesh-like structure. Now, while growing, these microbes consume the major part of the organic matter, which is the effluent, right? And this significantly reduces the biochemical oxygen demand. Right? So basically now biological oxygen demand is amount of oxygen that would be consumed if all the organic matter in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria, right? So basically the sewage water is treated till this biochemical oxygen demand is reduced. And this test measures the rate of uptake of oxygen by microorganism in a sample of water. So basically what we do is we do this test. So BOD is a measure of organic matter which is present in the water. The greater the BOD in water, wastewater, more is its polluting potential. Right. Now, once the BOD of water or the wastewater or the sewage is reduced significantly, this effluent is then passed into the settling tank where the bacterial flocks are allowed to sediment. So they basically become activated sludge now, right? Now a small part of this activated sludge is pumped back into the aeration tank to serve as the inoculum. So again, they will keep on growing, right? So after again air is pumped, they'll again keep on growing. So remaining major part of sludge that is pumped back into the larger tanks, which is known as anaerobic sludge digesters. And there other kind of bacteria which grow anaerobically, they digest the bacteria and fungi which are present in the sludge. So basically they digest the aerobic bacteria and fungi in the sludge. So basically, during this digestion process, the bacteria produce a mixture of gases like say methane, hydrogen sulfide, or carbon dioxide. Now these gases form biogas, and again these gases can be used as a source of energy as it is inflammable, right? So you are basically getting multiple benefits. Now the effluents from the secondary treatment plant, those are released into natural water bodies like rivers and streams, right? So basically the Ministry of Environment and Forest, they have initiated a very big plan which is Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan to keep clean these rivers, to keep these rivers clean, right? Now the next is microbes in production of biogas. So basically, guys, biogas is a mixture of gases which is produced by microbial activity, and it may be used as a fuel, right? So this type of gas depends upon the microbes and the organic substrates that they utilize, right? Now there are certain bacteria which grow anaerobically or cellulosic material, and they produce large amount of methane along with carbon dioxide and hydrogen gas, right? And these bacteria, they are known as methanogens. They are known as methanogens, right? They're also known as Methanobacteriums. They are also known as methanobacterium. So basically, these bacteria are commonly found in the anaerobic sludge during sewage treatment. And we said they start producing gases, and we can use that gas as fuel as well. Now, so what we do is we make a biogas plant. Now, this biogas plant consists of a concrete tank which is 10 to 15 feet deep, right? And in that, we collect the bio waste, right? And then we make a slurry of dung, right? So basically, we collect the bio waste and we make a slurry out of it and we fill the tank with it, right? Now we keep a floating cover in, over the slurry, and that keeps rising as the gas is produced in the tank. Remember that. Right. Now, apart from that, this biogas plant has an outlet as well. And this outlet is connected to a pipe to supply biogas to nearby houses. Now, what happens is that the spent slurry is removed through another outlet and that may be used as fertilizer. So, again, we are basically getting multiple benefits from the biogas plant, right? Now, basically, we have cattle dung, which is available in large quantities in rural areas where cattle are used for a variety of purposes. Then we have various, farms as well, which basically, focus on dairy farming and all that. And there you have a lot of cattle, and you have, a lot of cattle dung available with them, right? So basically, the biogas plants are usually made in areas where this dung is easily available. So either, there are big dairy farms or rural areas, right? And why, for what do we use this biogas? We use this biogas for cooking and, as a replacement of electricity, so for lighting as well, right? So if you see a typical biogas plant, if you see a typical biogas plant, what you will see is that there is a digester. So basically, this is the digester, right? And then we have the gas holder, right? So we have a gas holder, and then at one end we have the dung and water mixture. So basically that slurry, we are making this slurry here and we are passing it into the digester, right? And then here we have the methanogens, which are basically using this slurry and they are converting it into gases. And we have a gas holder basically which will move up and up, right? And we'll produce the gas. This gas will go through this pipe. So we have this gas for use, and then the used slurry comes out as sludge in another tank, right? So this is a typical biogas plant, right? Now, guys, technology of biogas production was developed in India and it was developed by the Indian Agricultural Research Institute and Village Industries, Khadi and Village Industries Commission, right? So basically, this is something that we ourselves have developed, right? Now let's see what do we mean by microbes as biocontrol agents, right? So basically, biocontrol refers to use of biological methods for controlling for plant diseases and pests, right? So basically we can control plant disease and pests using biological methods as well, right? Now, how we do that? So basically, when we use chemicals, when we use these pesticides and weedicides, they basically harm us. How do they do that? Because these pesticides somewhat, goes inside the vegetables and fruits. So basically, these fruits and vegetables they absorb some of the pesticides sometimes, And then when we eat this food, when we eat food prepared by these vegetables or fruits, we take it inside our body and it is poisonous to our body. So basically, it keeps on harming our body continuously, causing some long-term ailment, right? So instead of that, we can use biological methods as well. So the organic farmers, what they do is they create a system where insects are sometimes called pests, right? And they are not eradicated, but instead they're kept at manageable level by a complex system of checks and balances, right? So we create an ecosystem where we keep these pests under manageable level, right? Say the beetle with red and black markings, the ladybird or dragonflies, they are useful to get rid of aphids and mosquitoes, right? In the same way, baculovirus, right? So they attack insects. It is a pathogen that attacks insect and other arthropods, and it is used as biological control agent, right? So it is again used as biocontrol agents. So there are various methods where we avoid, using chemicals against these plant diseases and pests, and rather we use biological methods, right? So again, after that, we have, BT cotton, again an example. So what we do is basically we use the bacteria, the Bacillus thuringiensis, right? And we use it and we introduce it to the plant, and now the cultivated plant, which is basically in plants where we use prefix as BT, BT cotton, BT brinjal, so many things are there, right? So they are resistant to pests, right? Now let's see what role microbes play in as biofertilizers. So it's not just about pests, we also have fertilizers. So basically, biofertilizers are organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil, right? So basically, what happens is that, in nowadays, because of so much of pollution, the quality of soil keeps on degrading. And what happens is that the use of chemical fertilizers to, increase the yield has again side effect on our health, right? So that is why, nowadays people basically are moving, or these farmers are moving towards organic farming. And there they use biofertilizers. And these are nothing but organisms that enrich the nutrient quality. Right? Now, these biofertilizers can be bacteria, fungi, or cyanobacteria. Like we have rhizobium. Rhizobium, what it does is it fixes nitrogen, right? So we have nitrogen fixing bacteria like azotobacters, right? We have azospirillum, we have mycorrhiza, right? So basically, mycorrhiza is nothing but fungi which form symbiotic association with plants, right? So there are so many members of bacteria, fungi, or cyanobacteria which act as biofertilizers. So, guys, with this, we have finished this chapter completely. So, you have to do nothing but just read through the NCERT once after this, right? Just read through the NCERT once, and if you need the concised notes, you can go and check my website, which is onestopbiology.com, and you will get the entire set of curated notes, right? So just read through NCERT and do let me know if you have any questions with regards to this chapter. What you can do is you can mention your questions in the comments below, or what you can do is you can also send your questions on WhatsApp and I will answer them, and the WhatsApp number is given in the description. But I hope it'll be easier for you to cover the entire chapter by just watching this video, maybe 24-25 minutes video. I hope you liked it, and if you liked it, please do like the video, share it with your friends, and yes, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get notifications of all the updates. Okay guys, see you in the next video where we'll be starting with a new chapter. Till then, take care. Thanks for watching this video. Bye bye.